Hey everybody, the following podcast is a review of the 2022 movie Prey. If you have not seen Prey, please continue on at your own discretion. Hey everybody, welcome back to D&J's Epic Quest. I am Justin, aka the softest of pillows, and this is...
This is Derek, normally Bird That Steals, but tonight I'm going by Tabe. And it's a little bit of a different episode. We are on our first side quest here, venturing out from the main Malazan quest here, and we have our first guest on, who we will let introduce themselves.
Hello, everybody. I'm David Gogol. I'm the one of the co-hosts of Xenomorphing Hive Mind podcast. Flattered and humbled to be joining these guys for this discussion.
Awesome.
I'm definitely excited to have you, and I think we'll have a good time.
Oh, yes. This should be a good one.
It's a party.
Always.
So, you run an aliens podcast.
Yes.
You definitely, I would assume, have some passions and some interests into that world.
Smidgen, just a bit.
But do you recall a certain point or a specific moment in time where you're like, "Oh, this is great"? What initially enthralled you into that world?
It's just the creatures, really. When it came to Alien, I mean, when I first watched it, whereas everyone was scared and terrified by things, I'm like, this is the coolest motherfucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, this is awesome. What are these things? This is great. I remember as a young kid, even asking like my mom for an H.R. Giger book. She was like, no. I was like, all right. I thought they were the coolest thing, the whole life cycle. And it was just so, beautifully terrifying. I'm like, this is phenomenal. And I just got hooked. I got hooked from watching Aliens, which of course led me to watch Alien. Me and my dad watch them all the time. I got into the comics, and that was it. I mean, from there, I was always a big horror fan, which is the whole other discussion, the horror genre. But I just got hooked. I got hooked.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Justin, I don't think I've ever heard your, introduction into the Alien. I know it's something we've mentioned before, is that we both like that universe, but I don't know if I ever heard how you got into it, or I don't recall.
It's very similar to yours, Dave. Less horror, though. I kind of already liked the horror genre, but
Right.
it was actually the artist H.R. Giger. Because I just love his biomechanical, just like I've always been an artist, and I draw a lot of inspiration from that man. And it was funny because like I knew Geiger before I knew Alien.
Right.
Not very far off in the timeline, but like as I started to, explore his works, I saw that he had designed and even built the set for the Alien movie. And so that's kind of what drew me to watch those movies, and just alongside of the creature design, like the characters, the story, all of that was just fantastic. So I try to emulate him without emulating him as much as I can in my work, but that is essentially what has me in love with this universe.
Yeah, I found out about Giger through Aliens because I was never like I'm a huge movie buff now, but it really was this series that got me into it, like the behind the scenes stuff and the knowing the actors and producers are like, I don't know what James Cameron or Ridley Scott was. I didn't know. I just liked the movies, and then you start getting to that world a bit, and all of a sudden everything just kind of opens up.
Yeah.
And now here I am hosting an Alien podcast. I said, who would have thought? But probably most people would have thought I would be doing that. But whatever. So,
Yeah,
Justin, I remember in like 7th, 8th grade, maybe 9th grade, but I remember seeing I'm pretty sure you had a drawing that you did, like emulating one of Giger's with little alien things in the gun.
nice.
I'm pretty sure you did one of those.
Nice.
You drew that, I think.
Yep. And now my artwork is I don't know. It's pretty fucked up. I like to
Nice.
think it's fucked up.
All right,
So
I'm already sold. You need to send me some of these pictures because I am. Once you said fucked up, I am in. Dark and
so
twisted, sign me up.
it's I guess the hard part is like, I'm a traditional artist, so I
Right.
do a lot of like pencil, but
Mhm.
I don't like painting. I
Okay.
fucking hate mixing colors. I don't know why. It just drives me crazy because like I can't ever, like if I run out of a paint, I can't ever replicate that color,
Right.
which drives me crazy. But my college education is 3D. So I'm
Oh,
always
all
in
right.
this like mode of, do I just draw stuff or do I 3Dify it? So I'm always in this constant state of, I sketch a bunch of shit. I've got tons of sketchbooks that I could easily do with 3D. So it's
Awesome.
yeah, but Scarol's art at Instagram. You can check out some of the stuff there.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll check it out.
So yeah. What about you, Mr.
Well,
Gorney?
uh, so my introduction to aliens, one of my earliest memories. I don't know how old I was. Um, when did Aliens come out? What year was that?
79.
86. Alien was 79.
86.
Aliens was 86.
Oh, right.
So it was probably like I was probably like 5, 6. So it was like 1992-ish, probably. Just I'm taking a really hard guess at that. But I remember walking down the stairs, and my mom was watching a movie on TV, and it was right when Newt gets snatched by the alien in the water. It scared the shit out of me. I had nightmares about it forever. And then I was like, I don't need anything to do with that. And then it was sometime in elementary school. I went to a friend's house after school, and he's like, "Oh, you gotta watch this movie." And he didn't show me the whole movie. He just showed me, I think it was the Med Bay battle there. And he's like, "Oh, it's so sweet." And it was on VHS, so he's like fast forwarding and rewinding to get to the right point. And then we got to where Queen takes the bishop, and I'm like, "Okay, well, you've shown me this. Now I need to watch the whole thing." And um, it was probably another couple years before I saw the first one, and that one really scared me a lot. And the scariest part was always, I could not watch when Ash had his head knocked off. Like that was it. I just could not do it. It scared the Jesus out of me. And and then I saw Alien 3 and hated it the first time, and now I like it a lot. Um, Alien Resurrection I think I was in 5th grade when that came out. Yeah, I can do without it. Um,
Not good. I like parts of it, but it's not good. Not good.
Right. And then Alien vs Predator. I remember. I think that was what introduced me to Predator.
Okay.
And I may have seen parts of Predator on TV, but it was a real long time before I saw it from
Right.
start to finish. Um, but it was a really cool movie. And I watched the second one, and I think I've only seen that one once.
Hmm.
I'd have to watch it again. I don't have a real much of an opinion on it because I don't remember a whole lot. And then the what was the next one? Predators in the Jungle
I love
with
that one.
Topher Grace, and
I love that
I
one.
thought that one was pretty good. And the next two, I remember not caring for much.
Yeah. Yeah, the Predator
Uh,
sucked. But that brings us
but
to
this
Prey.
one, yeah, I was super jacked. I saw the preview for it, and I was like, oh man, I cannot wait for this. And I sent the link to Justin, like, dude, this looks badass. And man, after seeing this movie now, um, I hope they can do this Alien movie and Alien TV series. I hope
Yeah.
like it's setting those expectations just as
Yeah.
high now.
Yeah. It's it definitely set a positive message for the rest of both franchises, which they both desperately needed.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw. I read an article. Prey in the first 3 days it was out had more hours logged on it on Hulu than anything they've ever had. It is the most
That's fantastic.
the most viewed thing Hulu has ever.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it speaks quite a bit of volume about it. I mean, I know we both watched it twice. I know you've watched it two
Yeah,
or
I
three
watched it
times
twice.
at least.
Yeah. I watched it once before, one on vacation. When I came back, I watched it with the Comanche dub, which I think I like better.
I don't. Neither of us have had a chance to do that yet.
Yeah, definitely check it out when you
I
can. It's
the second time. Well, I was just the second time we both watched it. I know we were jotting some notes down and stuff, so I didn't really want to have to try to read
yeah,
it.
yeah. No, of course. When you're doing a watch without needing to write anything down, the Comanche dub, I think I like it better. It's even more immersive.
Cool.
Did
Well, I guess.
did that
Go
article
ahead, Justin.
explain why it was so big? I mean, I guess I'm oblivious to that kind of stuff, that type of information. But what were there reasons behind it, or just like what else did that article say?
I don't really remember what it said. Just I remember reading through it, and it said, it's the highest rated, or well, I guess I don't know highest rated, but most viewed thing they've ever had. And I don't remember if it was that article or another one, but it was talking about Amber Midthunder when she auditioned for it. She didn't even know it was a Predator movie because she had such a limited part of the script.
Right.
It didn't really give away what it was for. And then after she got the part, it sounds like she found out what it was for. Which seems kind of crazy. Like, I'm gonna try out for this movie, and I don't really know what it is. She thought it was like a timepiece kind of deal, I guess.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I thought she was fucking magnificent.
Oh, she was fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, I had never heard of her before. But yeah, she was really good. Really good.
Yeah, even the I think Bill Duke and Jesse Ventura have already given praise to the movie, which is always good to see. That's actually, not it's all organic praise. It's not stuff that's like, you can tell it's forced. They legit like the movie, which is refreshing.
Yeah, I did see that. It's kind of cool, especially with Ventura being our former governor here. So
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's right.
I forget about that.
I mean, we were probably middle school or high school.
We were younger. We definitely didn't have as much of an eye on politics as we so. But what I guess I love that it's getting so much praise and acclamation.
Yes.
However, there's the other side of that coin, which I think is actual complete bullshit. I know that I've seen a lot of memes basically from racists about how does this one girl with primitive tools take down 6 or 7 tough soldiers with big ass fucking machine guns, and if I recall correctly, in the first movie he was defeated by primitive methods.
Yeah, all of them, they all boil down to the basic stuff. In Predators, there's a samurai fight with the
I forgot
Yakuza
about
guy
that.
and the Predator, and at the end he gets down and dirty with the Predator itself. I think even in Predator 2, at the end with Danny Glover, they get down just to the nitty gritty, and it's not most people who make these memes, I'm guessing, haven't watched the movie. They're just trying to start shit, get reactions.
Yeah.
But I mean, you watch an action movie. The idea of an action movie is someone getting out of impossible odds, and throughout the movie, you see her building up her skills, and she's athletic, and you see her going through the training. It's not like it's out of nowhere, And even with the the French, it's that wasn't done by her. That was the Predator, which I'm sure we'll get into those kills later. And the ones that are more armed than her, they probably, they attacked her arrogantly. They didn't think she even had the skills, and she was quicker. She was smarter. It's not out of the ordinary for that to happen in any action movie. It doesn't matter anyone's size. It's it's just people looking for reactions.
That's one thing I picked up throughout this movie is, she's overestimated, and
Correct.
nobody's taking her seriously throughout the whole thing.
Right.
Whether
except for the brother. The
you
brother
know,
and the mom
her
always had
own
her back.
people.
Tabe always had her back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, he had the one line, where with the mountain lion, he says, "Oh, you're right. we didn't do this, I did it. You know, kind of his one jab at her. I felt like.
I felt that was more like a brotherly tough love thing, you know, because it was his time to celebrate, and she was kind of sulking, and he was kind of show her, look, I took advantage of the opportunity, you didn't. You know, it wasn't more of like a you suck, it was just kind of, you know, you didn't do it, I did type of thing. That's how I took it, at least.
I mean,
But he also did walk back on that later too, because he admits, you wounded
Correct.
this thing and I finished it off. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
I see your point.
Right. And even when she was joined the tracking team, everyone was making fun of her, and you know, Tabe is like, she has her uses. She could track, we can't. Bring her along. You know, that type of thing.
Right. She knows medicine. Right.
Yeah, and she could track. Yeah.
I guess I always took that scene with Tambe and Naru, as you mentioned, Dave. You know, she's kind of got this like defeatist attitude about, you know, not being able to come through.
Right.
But, you know, he as she's walking away, he's like, yeah, we did it. And then she's like, no, we didn't, you know, again, being in that,
Right.
you know, downplaying yourself type of thing. And then he switches gears there. So
Right.
I think that I took it as like just weird tonality, like
Right.
sarcasm.
Right.
Um, I don't think it would read easily as sarcasm, but I think that he was just being sarcastic in a weird way. I don't know how else to describe that.
So
Fair
what
enough.
what other things did you guys like from the movie?
Phew. I mean, the pacing was phenomenal. You know, the movie did more in an hour and a half than some Marvel movies do in 2.5. It ran the whole gamut of building the story, the setting, the characters, to the action. The cinematography was fantastic. Easily the best shot Predator film. The characters were great. The Predator itself, just overall very well done.
Yeah, I loved, you know, coming from, you know, the art mind, so to speak. I loved
Right.
the way that this Predator was designed. And it makes so much sense too, because, you know, really diving deep into it, this is year 1719. This is 300 years prior to the first movie. It shows the, I can't remember like if there's a race assigned to the Predator, but it shows that culture evolves.
Right.
I just thought that was
Yeah. I the yeah, just the shots. I remember just, the going a different direction from you, Justin. The like the opening few shots of the movie, just the scenery, I'm like, oh man, like it was beautiful. It looked really good. And yeah, the pacing, it was good. I like that it took a little bit of time. I mean, it wasn't too long before we saw the Predator, but it wasn't, it felt like it was right.
Right. Yeah.
I'm kind of looking at some of the stuff I jotted down, but
I mean, I guess,
you know,
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
just you see these people doing their day to day chores, whatever you want to call them, just to get by. It seemed believable. It seemed
Right.
pretty realistic.
Very, very authentic. Very authentic.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
I thought the Predator itself was awesome. Like we were discussing during our recording in previous movies, like they were almost too armored. They almost look like fucking football players or something. You know, they'd be a little sleeker. Where this one was designed with, you know, room to grow and nothing impeding him. He looked like a badass. I mean, his weapons were so cool, so cool.
Yeah,
I like
they
how
were pretty. I mean,
they were advanced, but they weren't. It wasn't like overt because you could still they were still kind of doing this. If this was the first hunt, so to speak, you could tell they were still figuring it out. And every time you think it'd be like a traditional weapon, it wasn't. It was so cool.
Yeah,
That's interesting. I guess one of the, and I could probably be very off on this, but I feel like one of the things that I noticed is that, in whatever the Predator is fighting or attacking, it it felt like to me that he was mimicking the weapons used. Like for
Right.
example, with the wolf and the snake, he's using his claw, right?
Right.
But then
Yeah,
there's
that's it.
also, huh?
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah,
That's good.
but then there's the
I did not
guy.
either.
There's the guy, the French dude, who throws the net on him after his foot is, bear trapped. And then as soon as he gets up, he throws a net of his own on the same dude. Um,
Nice.
That's such a
and,
good catch, Justin.
and
These are the
Never would
also,
have
details we're
caught that.
seeing.
Very nice.
and also
Nice.
when they confront, the tracking party of the Comanche, they're using spears and arrows while he ends up using, his own version of a spear. Right.
Nice.
So and again, it could just be over analyzing that, but I felt like throughout the movie in those interactions, and even with the bear, he didn't use any weapons, he used his hands.
No. Yeah.
Which is kind of represents the strength and the might of fucking grizzly bear.
Yeah.
And just
Huh.
something I noticed.
I'm gonna look for that when I watch it again. That's awesome. I didn't pick up on that. I think you might be right. That's really
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
tried.
one.
that's really cool.
Yeah. That net kill was phenomenal. That might be my favorite one. Freaking- I think
Yeah, what a
that
shit way to die.
that whole scene, I think I looped it back a couple times. Like, well, let me watch this again. Like, all right.
Let me do this at half speed.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus. Like, oh, hit him with the net. Oh my God, that was fantastic.
I feel like my favorite death was just the wolf, because he doesn't even realize he's been like hit. There's
Mhm.
that 2 or 3 second of hesitation before guts just fall out. So like you as the viewer think that like, oh fuck, he missed the wolf. No,
Yeah.
his
Nope.
guts.
Yeah.
No, he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
It was just like if I was that wolf, I would have been like, fuck.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love the whole nature theme of the movie. Like in the beginning, when the predator is still observing, you saw the ant, and then the ant gets eaten by the mouse thingy, whatever. Sorry, I don't know what exact critter it is. And then the snake kills the mouse, and then the predator's like, "Oh, this thing is a predator," and then just stabs and kills it, and then skins it. I thought that was cool. Then
That
the
was
the
cool.
That was a
bear
cool
and the
scene.
wolf.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just
And it,
working his way up the food chain.
Yep.
well, and it also goes back to the whole, the premise of the predator is that like it's not going to attack anything that it doesn't feel as a threat.
Right.
So it's just it. This is again one of the small things that like really made me just in love with this movie is the fact that like you see this ant crawling up the predator, and then this ant is eaten by a mouse, and the predator gives no shits about it.
Yeah.
But then it's not until the snake kills the rodent that it's just like, oh, like you were mentioning, Dave. But it's just one of those really small things that to the untrained eye, you're not catching the fact that this predator isn't just killing for the sake of killing. It's
Right.
Killing by design.
Yeah. Right. Anything that's not going to be any sort of sport, he wants no part of. Like even when she got trapped by the bear trap, when the predator found her, he was kind of like playing with the trap, like she's no threat to me. She's trapped. He was wanted no part of it, wanted no part of attacking her, which also kept the theme going of with no one seeing her as a threat. Not even every time she's by the predator didn't see her as a threat either.
And when
And
she
I like how she brings that up later towards the end of the movie.
yeah. And on top of that, I guess just to add a small thing, after the bear attack, when she leaves the beaver dam, he scans her with his heat signature, right? And usually when it detects something as a threat, you see a bunch of letters in the upper right hand corner of like his heat vision. There wasn't anything there for her. So I just thought that was a small little like hats off to the fact that like the predator doesn't even see that Naru is a threat, but he comes to regret that
Just a bit.
just a little,
just a little.
maybe by a head.
I really liked the war paint that they had, and I kind of wondered, like, for authenticity's sake, is that something they would wear on a daily basis? Because I guess I don't really know. But especially Tabe's, I thought was really cool. And then, when he dies, I thought his war paint was like a good indication that was coming. It almost looked like he was crying tears, and blood running down his face. It's just, to me, it was almost like probably one of the more iconic scenes of the movie.
Yeah, his final stand was when he came and rescued her when he was flying off the horse. That shit was great. So well done.
It was cool.
So well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite fight scene. It's just the whole like, he's only got one arrow, but he makes the most of it like 4 or 5 times. Which I thought was really clever and very well choreographed. But yeah, I guess to answer your question, Derek, or maybe not necessarily your question, but from what I understand is that the actors in this movie they're all, Native American.
Correct.
Which
I think
it's
Amber Midthunder is Sioux.
Right, yes. No. So I would assume that they probably had a huge hand in some of the minor details.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Which I think is great for representation purposes. I think that's absolutely amazing to finally see, not something be whitewashed.
Yeah, and not just that, but representation done right. I'm just gonna reuse an example I did in our recording. There was this horror movie that Shudder did, where they were it was focused on it was like a zombie virus movie thing, and the Indian people were the focus on it, and there was no whitewashing, but the movie was just so bad. It's like, what's the point of representation? And you're gonna do this crappy movie. This was done the right way. It was done organically, and I think that's a lot of misses these days. Is the representation sometimes is there, but the movie itself being represented as good sometimes isn't there. Where this was I don't want to say it'd be dramatic and say a template, but this was how it's done. It hit everything. The being a horror and sci-fi guy, I love a badass, female kicking ass, and this was done so well in this. You flip some tropes on their head, and it was just done in a way where you don't even think about it. It's just a good movie. It was bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really good. I really had to like nitpick to try to find some things that, not even that I didn't think weren't good, but maybe I had to question a little bit. I felt like they're pretty hard to find, and I'm certainly, not a film critic or anything, but I mean, we all know what we like and what we don't like, and it was. I felt like it was pretty tough to find something to, have a problem. I'd seen some stuff online, like some guy was like, "Oh, well, that dog is from Asia. It wouldn't even be there." I'm like, dude, you must be a blast to have at parties. Like, this is what you're pitching a fit about? Like, come on, it's a fucking dog, in a movie. Just like let it be.
And how
my
cute
only
dog.
The dog supporting actor of the year.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, yeah, that dog better not die.
Dog was awesome. And that was the dog. It was his first. They actually rescued that dog, and he'd never been on any sort of movie or TV set before.
Wow.
Damn.
I didn't know that.
That was his first acting appearance. So rookie of the year too.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool.
My only pitnick was when the Predator takes off its mask. How it looked maskless was kind of all right. I wasn't really a fan of it, but the rest of the movie was so good, I could kind of forgive it. It's like I don't know why they messed with the classic Predator design, but that's it. I don't really. Everything else is just fine with me.
What was off-putting about it?
Yeah, it just the way the face looked and the eyes. It didn't look like a Predator. It's like I don't know if they were. Like I know they call it a feral predator. I don't know what they were going for. If they were trying to be different, I don't know. It just looked off, and it did to me.
Yeah, it's like mouth looked way bigger than.
Yeah,
well, it was more.
It
was more vertical than it was like horizontal.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I feel like the way that the appendages on the mouth moved were vastly different. But
right.
I don't know. I guess. Thinking about it, it didn't. I don't know. It didn't bother me too much.
No, it's not like anything I want to rant about. It's nothing because it just I just don't understand why they changed it, but
Right.
it's nothing. It's really reaching for criticism. That was really my only one big criticism was the how it looked maskless, but the mask itself was fucking dope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it
was
was.
fucking good. I want to know
That
what
skull mask.
animal that's from. I mean,
I think it's actually good segue because I think it's from the ghost from Predators.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. So did you see Predators or neither of you saw it?
I've seen it, but it's been a long time.
Okay.
I've just
Yeah. I think it's from Predators. Don't quote me that, but that's what it looks from. I did a couple of pictures side by side, and it looks like it's from it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have
That
to.
one, because that was the one with the samurai, right? That's the one you're talking about. Okay, yeah, because I remember
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah.
It is a pretty good one.
Yeah, I love
But
that one. Yeah, of course, leading up to Prey, I just watched them all again, even the crappy one before this one.
yeah, I watched that one not too long ago. Yeah,
Jesus, when I speak of that one again.
I think I mean a couple of things that I guess my nitpicks. When it fights the bear, he takes a pretty good beating from the bear, and
Yeah, that was
it
a
doesn't. It was an awesome fight. See,
great fight.
I remember, like I saw the preview and you see this, and obviously, like, we didn't see the whole fight, but I hate watching trailers because you always see more than you want to see. But
Yeah,
for how hard of a fight it had with the bear, and it doesn't heal itself, and then it goes through the battle with, the French, and he heals himself after that. I'm like, well, why didn't it, take some time to heal itself after the bear? I mean, because that thing was mauling the shit out of him. And so, yeah, I mean, if that's one of the things I'm nitpicking, it wasn't too big a deal.
no, not at all, not at all.
The French I thought were really obnoxious, and maybe that's just generally how they are. I don't know, but like the
Probably
actors
the
were
point.
just the actor. I was like,
Probably the point.
oh man, when they're like walking up to, I was just like, oh man, like that was like they went pretty hard on it, I guess, but
Yeah. I mean, it's good producing. Like, who could we kill off? I know one of mine. Let's have him slaughter the French. Everyone will be cheering for the Predator then. All right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I guess my favorite part with the French was when they all just sat and stared at the mines coming out of the arm.
Oh yeah.
They're just.
The movie had some good little subtle humor to it. Good little parts that were made you laugh. Like the same scene when they're sitting there with the guns and the Predator goes behind, they look at each other and go, oh shit. That part was cool.
When the shield decapitation, God.
Oh my God.
Ah,
fatality.
I was not expecting that one because like he hesitates
No.
because the guy like you see
Yeah.
him pulling out his knife, and the Predator just like. Yeah, it was just great.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
that was and then you got the other guy like tossing his knife from hand to hand. I'm like, come on, like you're gonna do this in front of this like 8 foot tall like monster in
Yeah.
front of you, like this isn't a prison fight, buddy. Like you're about to get fucked up.
Yeah.
It was funny because my stepson was asking as he was on his way to go to football practice. He was just like, "What would you do in this situation?" And I'm like, "I wouldn't be in this situation to begin with." Like, nope, I'm good. Bye. You want to go sail across the world? I'm good. I'm staying right here. I don't need to see.
I'm good right where I'm at.
Right. I'll stay here in France. What were your favorite tension-filled moments?
It's a good one. I liked I don't know, I guess probably the bear fight when it's beating the crap out of the bear and she's hiding from it. Well, that was pretty cool. She didn't know if it's gonna attack her or the bear was gonna attack her again. I thought that was pretty good. And the whole scene leading up to that with her when she was hunting the bear, then the freaking bow and arrow snapped. I thought that whole sequence was good. I thought that was well done.
Yeah, it was well filmed.
Yeah.
Because when the bear crashes into the den, you're not expecting it the
Yeah.
bear.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought the whole thing felt pretty tense. Like I was definitely at the edge of my seat for pretty much the whole movie. Um, like that she's sitting in the tree with when they're hunting the lion or baiting the lion. I really wasn't expecting the other guy to get ripped away. That caught me off
Yeah.
guard quite a bit. And like you had that top down like aerial shot, which I thought was great. It looked great. Um, that was one of the other things I saw. Somebody was like, "Oh, there's no lions in North America." I'm like, dude, it's a fucking cougar, a mountain lion, whatever. They're around. Like we have them here. But that was I was pretty tense, especially when that fight started. And she's walking out on that branch. I'm like, oh, I know this isn't going to end well, but I wasn't expecting her to fall and
No,
crack
me
her
either.
head on a rock.
Me either. I was waiting for the cat to jump on her or her to like try to jump over it or I don't know. And then pop.
Something, yeah, and definitely the bear fight
Yeah.
too. Yeah, that whole thing that, I, man, is you see her realize, oh shit, the wind, is going the wrong way, and it starts sniffing the air, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it now. Like I've dealt with bears in the wild a couple once. One time is more than enough. Like, these guys are like, well, I'm not afraid of a bear. Well, I only dealt with a black bear. I don't want anything to do with the grizzly bear. Um, yeah, I had goosebumps for that. I was just like, oh no. And then yeah, the bowstring snaps. And it's just like when she's telling her brother, "Don't get your bowstring wet." She just, she washed it off in the water a few minutes before. Like, oh no, this isn't going
Yeah.
to be good.
Yeah. That was a good running theme too with her. Of course, want to be a hunter, and then just her, always seemed to do the wrong thing every time as she was learning. Like she didn't take the shot, when they were hunting the eagle. Fell when hunting the cat, and then the bow snapping, and then of course she put it all together when facing the predator. Even like when her
Oh
brother was like, when Tabe was like, really, this is what you choose,
yeah,
this thing. Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't pick up on that. That's a good catch too.
That was a
Yeah.
good catch. Yeah. I thought I guess my I'm tied between the bog when she's basically sinking into the bog and
Mm,
she's trying to get herself out with the basically Scorpion's weapon. Uh,
yeah.
the hatchet on his
That's the first thing I thought of too. Get over
yeah,
here.
get over here, tree. And then also in the battle with the predator, the shield between the two rocks and like her neck, and
Oh
just like you
yeah.
could see,
Yeah.
ah,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Like as I'm watching him, I'm sitting there
good moments.
squirming. I'm like, oh. I'm like, all right. It's like right here.
hmm yeah. It's like watching the teeth movie at the very end when he gets his fucking dick bitten off. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
similar
just
feeling.
I was really glad that the bog scene was a good throwback to the first movie I thought where Arnold's covered in mud, but I'm glad it didn't play
Yeah.
out that way. I was expecting something to happen there and it didn't. I thought the predator was going to show up and she's just going to tense up, and um,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I feel like maybe it should have been more obvious to me that, okay, well, they give that flour or whatever, and it cools his blood off. I'm like, okay, maybe I should have seen that coming, but it was a good, I guess,
That
maybe
was a good twist.
misdirection. Yeah,
Yeah. The movie did a lot of great thinking they're going to do some trope and then just going a different way.
for
The
sure.
movie did a good job. Even with the laser sight, we're all expecting the laser, and then it spreads out, and then you get the three little spear things.
And then he comes
Like
and
you said,
picks
there
them
was
up.
yeah. There was no mud scene. It did a good job of thinking up here, up. Nope, going to go a different way.
Yep.
Yeah, that was one of the things that um left me questioning after the first time I watched it. Was the whole laser sight spear thing. But then
Hmm.
I realized that it's when I just watched it again, I answered the question. Um, but I thought that that was really cool how just the state of observation that Naru is constantly doing with this predator to be able to
Yeah,
like cleverly and just be able to outwit
right.
using his own technology. I thought was fucking it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, like while the predator was hunting everyone else, she was hunting it,
Right.
which was pretty cool too. And the predator was worried about, again, to keep the thing, everyone else not seeing her while she saw him the whole time.
So basically the predator is prey.
Right. Dun
Dun dun
dun.
dun. So yeah, no, a good movie. I guess from like a visual graphics standpoint, I thought that you know the models, the 3D models, and the fur texture and all of that was beautiful.
Yeah, gorgeous
Uh,
movie.
yeah,
Gorgeous
like
movie.
sometimes you could tell when animals are CGI, and like I really had to look hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, animal, it's weird doing CGI animals, especially when you could just go get one. But they were, it was done well. I guess that would be another picnic is just get real animals. But like you said, they did a good job. They did a good job.
That scene that you have on your background just gave me like total no man's land vibes from like World War I. Like
Yeah.
just it's desolate and hopeless, and I really
Yeah.
liked it. That was cool. That was everything was filmed well, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And all the characters were good, all the supporting characters. Of course, we discussed the brother. The mother was great. She was good. Um, even the like the Triton crew, they were interesting. Everyone had in their just little screen time, they made you at least feel something towards them. You know?
Yeah, I guess going back to the tense moments until you brought up the tracking crew, I kind of forgot it. But when she gets in the fight with them and gets sucker punched at the end, like one of those things that I didn't see coming either, and it was just like cringe, like ooh, like that one had to hurt. Like it was,
Yeah.
she's beating this other guy down, and he had to elicit help to take her out. And I guess the
Yeah.
other, I guess, kind of cringy moment for me is the like lead French trap or whatever you call him. He wakes up and he's got rats gnawing on his legs, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
oh man,
I hate when that happens.
yeah.
oh no, not
Oh,
again.
that was pretty
Damn
brutal.
it. One of those Friday nights.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of the trackers, that was one of my favorite parts I almost forgot about when that attack is over and they're sitting in the field. It's like, I got him. No, he's got you. And then pushes him out of the way. And then you get the shot overhead of them running through the field. And then the guy just absolutely
Oh, gets
tomato
destroyed.
paste. It's
Yeah.
absolutely tomato paste.
So what
That
what
was a
was that
great
guy
scene.
doing out there? He's just like bailing on his buddies. Like that was kind of one of my, I guess, like big questions. Like, why did he run away?
Wasn't
I
he?
guess yeah,
I don't know,
everybody
maybe
else
he
is
was,
getting their ass kicked, but like, why you should have.
maybe, I don't know. Maybe he was trying to get that shot. Maybe afterwards, maybe, I don't know. But it made for a cool scene.
Wasn't he
It did.
the guy with Tombe? Wasn't he coming back? I don't know.
Oh,
Remember.
maybe.
No, he was the guy who went to go take a dump.
Oh,
Was that the same one? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and well, the first guy gets arrowed in the eye and chest, and then I think my favorite death was the guy who gets his legs cut off and then pinned to the fallen tree.
Oh, that was, yeah,
Like that was a good one,
yeah,
I thought.
that was an A+ kill. A+ kill.
I feel like a lot of these kills were A+ kills.
Yeah, they
And they were
were.
just like they were done in a way that like, you expect, as someone who watches movies, like you kind of expect people to die a certain way.
Right.
And the
Yeah.
level of, just the creativity behind them was really cool to watch.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
And the
It,
the mannerisms behind the Predator 2 were who played him were great. Like he really brought the creature to life.
Yeah, I would
yeah, it
agree.
was again, pretty believable for a
Yeah.
movie with an alien in it, killing people all over the place.
Dane Diego. Sorry if I butchered that. He played the Predator, and he was awesome. He really gave it a lot of personality, which you need, especially going to be the main villain in a movie like this. He really brought it to, like, if you're going to play Jason or Michael Myers, you got to have some personality behind the silence. I think he did a good job with that.
Yeah, he did do
The
it.
one thing that bothered me a little bit was just, some of those deaths they weren't happening off screen, but they were kind of out of focus. Like, I wanted to see more of it. Like when you got the guy with the spyglass looking down at Naru and Tabe, as they're chained to the tree and they're getting slaughtered behind them. You just see like a body get split in half and fall off a horse. Like, I want to see a little bit more of that, and it's just, there's a couple other instances kind of like that. But again, it's a pretty small thing to nitpick on.
I think sometimes those implied kills are just as effective as the ones you see.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I think that particular scene that you're talking about, Derek, is really meant to, because like the focus of attention in that particular shot is, the person with the fucking whatever the fuck that thing's called, watching whatever, and then in your peripheral vision you see just this person fall. I remember that was my reaction the first time I watched that scene, was like, oh, okay, they're looking for something. Oh, what the fuck just fell in the background? And then you kind of immediately get this sense of like, you feel the way that the character in that with the spyglass is feeling, like, oh, what the fuck did I just see?
Yeah.
So just another creative way of writing shit in.
Yeah.
I wish I knew somebody who spoke fluent French. Like, I want to know what they were saying throughout part of the movie.
I give it a few more days. Someone will have that translated. Give it some time. Someone's definitely going to get that translated.
It's a good point. I'm sure, it'll be posted somewhere in the depths of Reddit or something.
Oh, yeah. Then there'll be a fan edit with the caption translated, or, it'll be there.
True.
Someone will do it.
Do you think there's a reason why they left it intentionally French?
There's no need to know what they're saying. They're just from the way they're shot, that they're other hunters. They're tracking this thing too, and they're bad people. They're assholes. You don't really need to know what they're saying. They're just bad people with bad intention. That kind of adds a little more a mystery to it. There's no need to know.
Because everybody has been told that story of colonization.
Yeah, everyone knows
there's no reason to translate what they're specific.
No
they already know.
You can just tell by their actions and their mannerisms that these people aren't good. So it's my take, at least.
I like that take. Yeah.
What do you think? Like the end of the movie when she walks back with the Predator's head, and her mom, and I guess I presume her dad, I thought there would have been a little bit more surprise or shock in their face, because throughout the movie you never really get the impression that the rest of the village doesn't really know what's going on, because anybody who's seen it is largely dead. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. I thought they were, you think you'd be like, what the fuck is this thing? Like, but they seem pretty calm, just sitting there like, oh, we're glad you lived.
Yeah.
I guess I can't make heads or tails of that, but I feel like this has probably taken a span of a day and a half potentially. There's got to be some recognition of the tribe that, oh, these people have not returned yet. So maybe that.
I think there were a couple shots of someone walking back to the mom saying there's been no news of anything yet. From what I think so.
I don't remember that.
They were cutting back to. But I didn't mind the ending. It is what it is. She came back, she killed the thing, told them to threw the gun, told them we got to get the fuck out of here, and that was that. It worked.
Yeah, that's true.
They just thought of just they're used to hunting the whole time, so they probably think this is just something else our culture had to kill. Some demon, that was it. she conquered the demon, and then that's it. Story over.
Yeah, I thought it was a good resolve. I didn't
Yeah.
feel unsatisfied with how it ended.
And if you watch the paintings in the epilogue, it shows that how it connects to our Predator. So with the painting shows the ship coming down and them giving the gun to them.
Oh, I
I don't
didn't
know.
even
I
watch
don't know if
the.
I caught that,
Yeah,
or maybe I didn't watch
yeah,
far
yeah.
enough.
Was that after the
Definitely check
credits?
that out on next watch. Yeah, yeah. I think it's during. I think it's right at. I think it's during the credits. It does the whole paintings.
Oh,
I know I saw some of it, but maybe I didn't go. I think I kind of skimmed through it, looking to see if there was an after credit scene. So I
That's what I
probably
did the
fast
first time.
forwarded.
The second time, I was like, "Let me watch this." I went, there it is. I'm like, okay, this actually was a story being told here.
It's
so they
nice to see the connecting tissue.
Yeah.
so in the
Yeah.
epilogue, I didn't watch this. So basically, it's just a what are those things? Hieroglyphs, right?
Pictographs.
Picture thing.
Yeah, pictographs. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Pictographs.
hieroglyphs is Egyptian.
Okay, gotcha. Thank
Yeah.
you. Pictographs of the aliens returning to Earth, and then the Comanche giving them the pistol.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Which then ends up in Predator 2. Got it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I guess I definitely missed that, but I did read something, saying like if there's a sequel, like it's gonna have to not go well because the Predator's got to get the gun back to
Yeah.
give, you know.
Well,
Or maybe they must not have
one of
watched the
my
after credits either, or the
one
the
of my co-hosts was it uh, Mike? It was one of the Mikes. Had a theory of because at the end of Predator 2, Danny Glover gets the gun. So maybe this is sort of a tradition of any time a human kills a predator, they give him that gun as you know, a way of respect, showing you took one of us down. I don't know, just a theory.
Yeah, I'm
interesting.
definitely more motivated to go back and watch the older ones now because it's
Yeah,
been a minute. So
yeah, yeah. Predator, of course, first one's a classic. This might be my second favorite now. Predator 2, people either absolutely adore it or not so much. I think it's really good. It's just it's too cheesy. I
it's
thought it would be a little more serious.
1990s.
It's not. It's 290s. It's 290s, but there's a lot of cool shit in there. Um, a lot of good, especially with the Predator. The Predator stuff is great. The story is good, but it's very 90s. Predators, I absolutely love. I love the idea of the whole Hunter planet. Royce is great. Isabel is great. The whole story works. The Predator, yeah, I'd rather piss glass than watch that again. I watched it during my revisit, and yeah, it was bad.
See,
Just not
I
good.
feel like the reason I haven't seen the latter two is because I thought they were remakes. I don't know why I got that in my head that they were remakes instead of a
Interesting.
continuation, but I'll have
Right.
to go watch them, even the one that you'd rather piss glass for.
Yeah. But yeah, it's movie definitely brought some life back to the franchise, which it was pretty much shot dead after the Predator. I didn't think they'd do a movie this fast and let alone be this good. I heard that when they announced it, I was like, wait, what? Really? You're doing this before Alien? Of course, I'm being biased in my love for Alien, but I'm like, what? Really? What are you doing, Disney? Like, what's going on Hulu? Like, what the fuck? And then I heard who was directing it, and I loved 10 Cloverfield Lane. I'm like, okay, all right, all right. Okay. Then I saw the setting. I went, oh, all right.
Getting
And then,
remotely more interesting.
okay. And then I started getting more excited. I stopped reading all the previews. I stopped watching trailers. I was just going in. I'm like, I want to go in as fresh as possible. And bravo, bravo. It shows you could do this type of movie, release it even to streaming and it works. Cough Netflix, who releases some of the. I tried watching The Gray Man. I've never been so bored with so many big names in my entire life, but I could.
The Gray Man.
Yeah, it's got this big cast. It's got Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, Anna de Armas. It's by the Russo brothers. I'm like, this is gonna be awesome. Some of the first 20 minutes, some of the most wooden dialogue I have It's so bad. It's like serious line, one liner. Serious. I'm like, okay, stop. It's not an MCU movie. Stop writing it like this.
Ah,
It's and I love action movies. I could watch them anytime. I love the bad ones. I love the good ones. Pretty painful. I tried watching it again today. I'm like, I can't do this. It's really bad.
sometimes it's okay to admit defeat.
Yeah. I'm like, this isn't
I
happening.
probably
But
will check it out based on your recommendation because
It sounds like it's a good one to skip.
yeah, it is. And I watch all the Netflix action movies. Like I've seen some ones that are generic, but they're entertaining anyway. Like the Chris Hemsworth one was really good. The one they did with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds was really good. Sorry, I'm bad at remembering movie titles. But Hulu showed you could take a big franchise and just go, here you go, success.
So do
You could treat it.
you not think that it deserved a theatrical release? Like,
I would love to see this in IMAX.
yeah.
I would love to see this in IMAX. Or fuck, give me this in 4D. Let me feel the blood splatter.
Give it on me.
Yes, which I did with Bullet Train. But yeah, give me Predator in IMAX. Give it to me in 4D. This, I mean, it's great. It's setting all these records, which bodes well. But I would love to see this in the theater. Love, love, love.
Yeah.
With how well it did, it would have been. It'd be interesting to see how it would have done in theaters compared to just being released to streaming. But I hope it didn't set the bar too high for Alien, whatever this Alien movie is, and this Alien show.
Alien has the biggest pressure on it because it's, as much as I love the prequels, especially Prometheus, in the fans' eyes, they're both very divisive. Neither of them were huge. I mean, Covenant had one of the biggest box office drops in cinema history from week 1 to week 2. Predator did all right, but no one really. Prometheus did well enough, but they're not two movies that people talk about anymore. They barely exist in the eyes of the normal fan. You talk to people and they go, wait, what? Huh? There was that. There was one after Prometheus, or there's movies after. You could argue that the franchise has been a mess since Aliens. I fucking love Alien 3, but it's only been the last 5 years or so it's really had love. Resurrection is trash. Their prequels, like I just said, are divisive. Movie hasn't had a big success. It's like ever since Aliens blew up, Fox at the time, they didn't know what to do with it. And the movie, it's a bigger name and more recognized than Predator. It has a lot of pressure on it. It needs to succeed and hopefully be as successful as Prey. It needs to. It needs that rebirth. And I think the Alien series needs to not do anymore what they do with the Star Wars. You don't need to, where they're obsessed with the Skywalker name, where the Alien series is too focused on Ripley. You don't need to do this connective tissue to everything. Just make one good movie and figure out the rest.
Okay.
Like Prey is this. It has these nods and odes and stuff to it, but it's now this movie, because it's successful, now it's going to spin off other shit. They made one good movie, that's it. Now this series this franchise is completely reborn now. That's what Alien has to do. Like, listen, again, I love the prequels, but too obsessed with everything connected. You don't need to do that. This isn't a comic book. You need to have everything, this isn't Marvel or DC. It doesn't need to have a whole merge together. The Alien universe is huge. Pick other timelines and make one good movie and you're good.
Yeah, there's plenty of space in there, and I mean I guess it's kind of cool, like I know I saw Covenant like the day it opened, and I left the theater.
Yeah. I saw like 3 times in the theater. Yeah.
I was just like, like that was it.
Right. Yeah.
Just underwhelming. And after Prey, like I don't know that I had super high expectations for it, but I'm like, oh man, the trailer looks awesome.
Right.
I was hoping it was going to live up to it, and it did and exceeded it, in my opinion. So I hope that this Alien as a franchise, definitely it needs that. It needs
in the worst
somebody
way
to do what Prey did.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I feel like there's a movie missing between Prometheus and Covenant. I feel like there should be like stuff in between. I feel like it's too much of a jump.
Yeah, Ridley kind of, because his initial thing was he was going to do a straight Alien prequel. Then he decided he wanted to tell the story of the guy in the chair, which I loved because I was like Ridley Scott. I was obsessed with the guy in the chair from Alien. And then after he did Prometheus, based on some of it was studio interference, some of it was supposed fan reaction, and some of it too was really had a obsessed with AI, absolutely obsessed. He said, "All right, you want aliens? I'll give you fucking aliens." Like he doesn't give a shit about the creature anymore, and you can tell from Covenant. And he loves the AI stuff. He made David kind of the focus, which I didn't mind because he's a great character. And then these two movies just don't. There's something missing because there's no Prometheus sequel. Alien Covenant is almost like a reboot sequel thing. You know, people forget about Prometheus because Covenant pretty much wiped it out. It's because Covenant is almost like another start of another trilogy. And that's another, in my opinion, mistake Ridley Scott made is he just made Prometheus thinking he's going to get 2 more movies. No, dude, make one good movie, figure out the rest. Don't assume it's going to be this make a blockbuster and the studios are going to go, here you go.
Right.
Take all this money. Make a good movie. As I say this 800 times apparently. Make the movie good first and then work it from there.
It's simple. Make a good movie.
Yeah. Like we used to discuss, even with this, like you just said with Prey, we'd always discuss with both Predator and Alien, keep it simple, stupid. Then Prey was there's lots of layers to it, as we've pointed out multiple times, but the movie in its core is very simple. And boom.
They did a great job with it.
Bliss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you guys have anything else?
Those are all my thoughts.
Yeah.
I think so too. I know you've got a few more people on your show, so maybe that kind of helps.
Yeah, probably made it a little. Yeah, I think we had like 4 or 5 on that one. I haven't done a 3-man booth in a while. I don't think of anything else. Yeah, absolutely love the movie, and give me more.
Yeah, give it to us all.
Yes. Should I pimp out my podcast stuff before we officially end this, or I don't know how you guys do this? I know I'm your first side quest, as you said.
Yeah, no, go ahead, pimp it out.
All right. Check out our podcast, Morphing Hive Mind Podcast. We're on everything. Podbean, Apple, Google, you name it. We're everywhere. Follow me on Twitter. It's probably the best place to interact with me, at Xenomorphing426. We also have a Facebook page. We have a Facebook group. So you can find us everywhere. We have shirts. Go and grab them. Appreciate everyone who listens. I never thought in my life anyone would ever listen to me talk, let alone a whole podcast about aliens. Love all you guys. This was a good time being a guest with you. I'll definitely share this everywhere and hopefully give you guys some more listeners as well.
Yeah,
I like it.
Thanks for popping our cherry here.
Hopefully it was I hope it was good for you. I might need a
it was
smoke,
very
but
gentle.
I might need a cigarette after this.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna go grab my smokes.
Now you can leave. Bye.
That's great.
No breakfast.
No, it was a great time, and
yes.
Yeah, if you're any of your listeners, we're kind of a fantasy book podcast, and right now we're focusing on Malazan, Book of the Fallen, and we're reading the first book. It's called Gardens of the Moon. So if you like that stuff, if you're into fantasy books, check us out. We've got like 4 or 5 chapters left of the first book here.
About that, yeah.
And then
4 or 5 episodes left.
I know we had talked about when the Vasquez book comes out in October, we were going to read that. And
yes. All right,
maybe diverge a little bit from our Malazan quest at that point too. But
yeah, speaking of books, my good friend Clara, she co-wrote the latest Alien book, Aliens Infernal Fall, which released 2 days ago. So pick that up as
I
well.
will have to do that. I have not yet. There's a Predator book that came out too within the last couple of days also.
Oh, that God, jeez. Who has all this time for all this good stuff? I forgot that. I didn't know that was out either. Shit.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
remember.
man.
I just something I can't remember what it was called. I did see it. Somebody had a picture
Yeah.
of that and the Alien book together, Inferno
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
that I saw. So lots of good
Cool.
stuff.
Lots of nerdgasms forthcoming.
Absolutely.
Well, cool. Thank you very much, Dave, for your time and
Yes.
hanging out with us.
Fellas, it was a pleasure. I'll talk to you guys on the Twitters.
Yeah. We'll see you around, man.
Have a good night.
Take her easy.
Bye.
Bye.